9:07 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? Good morning. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We got Joan Jones in the newsroom. We got Mason Fleming producing, and we got a full show for you today. Live on your radio, the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, the FM dial, and live on Super Talk TV, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, our personal favorite, YouTube. Head over to the stream, hit like, hit subscribe, join the conversation any way you want, whether it's in the YouTube chat, whether it's on the text line or the phone lines. Text line, phone line, same number, 615-737-9986. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I am itching to get to the weekend. Itching. My 5-year-old's celebrating birthday. We told him last night about the surprise that we got lined up for him.
Oh yeah?
Oh my gosh, is he jazzed?
Oh, I bet. Who wouldn't be?
So we surprised him. We're taking him to wrestling on Friday night. It's gonna be a boys' night. Me, my 7-year-old, and my 5, soon to be 6-year-old. His birthday's on Saturday. So, dude, I'm just trying to get to the weekend.
It's gonna be huge.
I'll be honest with you. I'm so excited. It's gonna be an awesome time.
Yeah.
So bear with me as we try to wobble on through the day. It's gonna be a good show though. We have a lot to get through, including what's happening with John Brennan and James Comey, as well as what's happening on the immigration enforcement side of things. It's been crazy, man. The left is absolutely insane and unhinged when it comes to the immigration enforcement that's happening in this country. It's crazy. It's just crazy. Senator Alex Padilla, he's the guy that just got arrested or detained. Not arrested, detained for shouting at Kristi Noem, was it 2 weeks back? He is pushing a bill along with Cory Booker that would ban ICE agents from wearing masks. It's never going to go anywhere. Let's just be perfectly honest. As of right now, while we still gain control of the House and the Senate and all the things, it's not going to go anywhere. It's just not. And if it ever made it to Trump's desk, he just wouldn't sign it. It's not going to happen. Yet these unhinged lunatic Democrats are still pushing this. And it's like a bit infuriating. I'm not going to lie to you. Because what you're really advocating for is to continue putting our ICE agents at risk. And when you go on the news and you talk about this kind of crap and you ignore the fact that ICE agents are being ambushed and shot at, one guy shot in the neck, it's insane and unhinged behavior. Yet Alex Padilla is doing just that. Here he is with Jen Psaki introducing that bill and pushing it real hard on MSNBC, a bill that would ban ICE agents from wearing masks.
Why you felt it was so important to put forward this legislation?
Right. First of all, the importance and the urgency because of not just fear, Jen, but actual terror that people are feeling, not just in Los Angeles, but especially in Los Angeles, because that's clearly Donald Trump's target right now.
Oh, what about the fear that people are feeling because of the illegal aliens that are in their neighborhood? I don't know. Drug trafficking and human trafficking and taking over apartment complexes. That no worries about that kind of fear. No, we're worried about the fear of the illegal aliens. And you're seeing this all over the place. There's a bishop, a Catholic bishop in San Bernardino, and he's like, guys, if you're worried about immigration raids, Sunday Mass is optional. It's like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Are we really doing? We're really doing this. We're really doing this. Alex Padilla, everybody's so scared. Everybody's so scared. We can't let ICE agents wear masks. We can't do that. There's just, it's not safe. It's not good. Oh my gosh.
And as you mentioned, the bill is actually pretty straightforward. No face coverings, no masks with certain exemptions to that. A requirement for something identifiable on the body, right? What agency do you work for? Is it ICE? Is it somebody else? And in most instances, it would be a name. There's a genuine concern about safety of some federal agents, and so maybe just a badge number or something identifiable for purposes of accountability.
Oh, so it's just for accountability. It's for accountability. Now, mind you, when you're on a college campus and you're protesting Israel, masks are fine, right? Good with that? Yep, you're good with that. If you're in Los Angeles and you're protesting ICE officials and immigration operations, masks are fine. Good with that? Yep, everybody's good with that. Everybody's good with that. You're running around during the summer of love. Also, masks, totally cool. Great. No worries. You're an ICE agent trying to enforce the law that Congress made. No masks. Even when these left-wing lunatics are doxing you online and doxing your family and doxing your kids and threatening you with violence, still can't do it. Got it. Peter Doocy actually asked Trump about this yesterday, this bill that Cory Booker and Alex Padilla are pushing to demask ICE agents, and Donald Trump wasn't exactly impressed with that. This happened yesterday.
And on one other subject, two Democratic senators now, Cory Booker and Alex Padilla, have a new bill out. They want to require CBP and ICE officers to have legible IDs, and they don't want CBP or ICE officers covering their faces. Would you ever sign that?
Well, they wouldn't be saying that if they didn't hate our country.
Facts.
And they obviously do. I'm surprised that they would do it. Knowing a little bit about them, I don't know them well, but these officers are doing a tremendous job. They're
Heroes.
great patriots. If you expose them because of statements like have been made by Democrats and others on the left, usually, mostly, I think probably exclusively, you put them in great danger, tremendous danger. And it's sort of funny when people picket in front of Columbia, in front of Harvard, and they have masks on, more than masks. I mean, you can't see anything. Nobody complains about that. But when a patriot who works for ICE or Border Patrol puts a mask on so that they won't recognize him and his family, so they can lead a little bit of a normal life after having worked so hard and so dangerously, there's a problem with that. So they have this is the problem with the Democrats. They have a lot of bad things going on in their heads. They've really become they've lost their confidence, number one, and they've become somewhat deranged. I want to do whatever's necessary to protect our great law enforcement people, and they are right at the top of the list.
Yep, I'm with Trump. These people are insane, and they've been pushing this rhetoric for a while now. All of the Democrats have. It's not just Cory Booker and Alex Padilla who are pushing the bill. You're seeing this at all the top levels of the Democratic Party, this push to demonize ICE agents.
Every single ICE agent who's engaged in this aggressive overreach, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, will of course be identified. This is not the 1930s.
Secret police who are masked, who are intimidating, who are scaring people. These Gestapo-like tactics.
This is Gestapo-like behavior.
Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets.
When you compare the old films of the Gestapo grabbing people off the streets of Poland, it does look like a Gestapo operation.
You posted on social media that, quote, ICE is acting like a terrorist force.
ICE agents, they are coming and kidnapping and disappearing people on the streets of the United States.
People.
But this terror campaign of having masked people rolling up in vans. But we also have to talk about the agents themselves that are carrying this out. If you have any decency, quit now. Because just doing what you were told has been the justification for some of the worst horrors and crimes against humanity.
Masked agents of the state in unmarked vehicles are terrorizing communities. They are disappearing people.
One has to assume they're hiding something or they're hiding misbehavior, because otherwise why would they be wearing masks and denying their identities?
If everything is legitimate and proper, why are you wearing masks to hide your face?
Not look like America. We are going to require them to show their faces. If you're not doing anything wrong, you shouldn't have anything to hide.
I mean, this is the rhetoric that we've seen from the Democrats for months now, and it's leadership. It's Cory Booker. It's Hakeem Jeffries. It's rank and file. It's Dan Goldman. It's Eric Swalwell. It's Ilhan Omar. It's all of them. And we've seen the rhetoric ramp up, and now we're seeing the violence follow. You've seen the ambushes at the ICE facilities in Texas. You've seen it in Portland, Oregon, and it's getting insane. We've been in this weird spot where it's felt like we're in a cold civil war for a while, and it seems like that's starting to get hot, especially with these unhinged left-wing lunatics. Ducey yesterday, Peter Ducey, asked Trump if he thinks there's a national threat when it comes to these left-wing militias targeting ICE officers. And I think that that's a great way to put it. This is left-wing militias. They are absolutely trying to start something. Donald Trump asked the question by Peter Ducey.
President Trump, in Alvarado, Texas, a few days ago, 10 people wearing all black allegedly set off fireworks outside an ICE office to lure the officers out so they could ambush them, shoot at them. They had guns and vests and two-way radios. Do you think that this was an isolated incident, or do you think there's a national threat of a left-wing militia that is targeting ICE and CBP?
Well, I think you have some very stupid people in the left who have some money that are making it available to these people, because you look at the guns they had, they were brand new. You look at even the clothing they were wearing, it looked like it just came out of some military shop. So you have some very stupid people that, if anything ever happened, they'd be the first to go. They don't understand that. They'd be the first to go.
He's absolutely useful. Idiots are always the first to go, 100%. But he said somebody's funding it. Somebody's paying for this, and I like that angle, and I like that he's aware of it, because hopefully that means that they are investigating this at higher levels, getting to the bottom of it. But these people are losers, unhinged, lunatics, and the useful idiots will get it first.
They'd be the first ones hit, but there is money being put behind people. When you look at the weapons they have, the newness of the weapons, rifles that just came out, and they have the latest model. So there's something going on, and we'll get to the bottom of it.
And what do you think the penalty should be for these people who are, if they are found guilty, for people who shoot at ICE officers?
Very, very stiff. Very stiff. A long time in jail, a long time. And one got hit yesterday in the neck. And he fortunately is going to be okay, but he got hit yesterday in the neck. No good.
No good at all. He is going to make it, the ICE officer who was shot in the neck. Last I checked, stable condition. But, I mean, it could have been so much worse. So what's the penalty? Hopefully a very long time, says Donald Trump. I think put him under the jail, personally. Maybe if that's not good enough, maybe a little Alligator Alcatraz, maybe some C-Cot. Maybe Sudan. I've heard good things about Sudan, but I think the penalty should be enormously stiff. I think it should be extremely harsh. The same way that we would treat somebody going after a police officer, we should treat these left-wing radicals even harsher. Even harsher. Donald Trump not holding back, but he said somebody's paying for it, and we're going to hopefully get to the bottom of it. I'm excited to see where that investigation goes, because as we learn more about the shootings at these ICE facilities, it gets worse and worse for the left. It's actually been revealed that one of the individuals in the ambush at a Texas ICE facility was a DACA recipient and was given a green card by the Biden administration. Shocker. Shocker, I know. I know. You're stunned. You're stunned. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. We'll talk about that when we get back. It's 9:21. This is Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
The punishment meted out for Secret Service agents supposed to be protecting President Trump. And the Nashville Predators want you to come work for them. We've got those stories coming up here at 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Joan Jones. It is 9:26 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Love those guys. If you need a water filtration system or some water softeners, you go to betterwater.com. I got a text here. I've been getting these texts a lot. Anytime I play like a Democrat, they'll be like, they're disappearing people in the streets. I get all these texts, and they'll be like, "What? When did disappearing become a word?" And I think it's a social media thing. I think that you're using those words to skirt certain algorithms. It's the same reason people started saying unalived, because if you said murdered or killed, you were deboosted, I guess, in the social media algorithms. So maybe they thought kidnapping was the same thing. I don't know. I think that's where it comes from. I'm pretty sure, like 99%, right? Disappear. It's a social media thing, so they don't say kidnapping. Same thing with murdering and unaliving. I'm getting a nod from Mason. He's young. He knows. You know. Got a thumbs up, too. Thanks, Mason. Thanks, bud. Appreciate it. Well, what did I say I was going to do? Oh, yeah. One of the guys at the ICE raid in Texas. This is crazy. Like, it's just, these people are insane. One of the guys at the ICE raid in Texas, not the raid, the ambush, where those Antifa members, or alleged Antifa members, they look like Antifa members to me, shot at ICE agents. One of them was a DACA recipient who was given a green card by the Biden administration.
Our colleague John Roberts, he says that we are now reporting the guy who was arrested in the Alvarado, Texas incident for tampering with the evidence was a green card recipient under the Biden administration and a prior DACA recipient. What do you think of that?
It's very sad. It's very bad. A lot of them are here. We came in 21 million. I think it's higher than that, by the way, but they say 21 million people came in. Many of them are criminals. Many of them are murderers. 11,888 is what they say are murderers. And they came in through open border policies, no checking, no vetting, no nothing. And we have a lot of that. And despite that, we have crime down, which is pretty amazing.
You know, it's funny to me, though, that they'll tell us that these illegal aliens, they're coming here for a better life. They're coming here to do the jobs that Americans don't want to do. And I think that, I always agree. Yeah, like human trafficking, fentanyl trafficking. These are jobs that Americans don't want to do. Extorting other illegal aliens by removing fingernails with pliers. Jobs Americans don't want to do. I think that I would add to the list, shooting at ICE agents is not a job many Americans would want to do.
Was that the guy that, by the way, that goes by the name of Megan?
Oh my gosh, I don't know if he goes by the name of Megan.
Oh, okay.
I do have a picture of the individual in question. Per ICE sources, one of the criminals tied to the Prairieland ICE detention facility attack was granted a green card under Biden as a prior DACA recipient, Daniel Rolando Sanchez Estrada. He's the husband of one of the attackers who was arrested Monday by the FBI for conspiracy to tamper with evidence, a felony, while they were serving a search warrant. This is the individual on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. Just another added bonus why you watch a radio show on YouTube. We always have visual elements, whether it's video for the audio that you hear or pictures of losers like this guy, DACA recipient Daniel Rolando Sanchez Estrada. Enjoy CCOT. It's 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. It is 9:30, and I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. A new wave of suspensions, not firings, over the attempted assassination on President Trump on the campaign trail.
6 agents with the Secret Service have now been suspended for security failures connected to the attempted assassination of President Trump nearly 1 year ago. Sources say they faced anywhere from 10 to 42 days suspension. An independent review showed a series of law enforcement breakdowns left Trump vulnerable.
That's ABC's Allison Kosick reporting. If you see a lot of police and rescue vehicles at the Nissan plant today, don't be alarmed. Nissan is hosting an emergency training drill involving multiple public service agencies. Need a job? Nashville Predators hosting a part-time hiring fair today from 4 to 7 p.m. Takes place at the Ford Ice Center in Bellevue. They're in need of guest services employees, public safety, and operations. The Preds say come prepared to sit for a brief interview and conduct pre-employment screenings right there on the spot. And remember this guy?
Well, yes, they call him the street.
Country singer Ray Stevens. He's 86 years old, suffered a heart attack. They say it was a mild one. He's undergone heart surgery here in Nashville. His surgery was a success. His performances, though, at Cabaret Showroom in Bellevue have been canceled through the end of this month. That is the latest news. We've got your weather up next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
9:36 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We invite you to watch the show. Super Talk TV is live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and our personal favorite, YouTube, where the chat is always jumping. Shout out to the chat. And where you can always see video to go along with the audio that you hear on the radio. Just an added bonus of why you'd want to watch us on YouTube. Hit like, hit subscribe, help us with that digital clout. So I got a text here. 9296. We're talking about the word disappearing. I think it's a social media thing. That's always what I thought because of the term unalived. That became a thing because if you said murdered or killed, the algorithm kind of throttled your post. So people started saying unalived. So I thought that it was the same thing with disappeared. But 9296 texted in and said, I transcribe immigration court hearings. Disappeared is a very well-known term in certain countries and will invoke an incredible sense of absolute terror in the people familiar with that term. The word is being used with specific purpose by the Dems. Well, that checks out. Fear and using that to manipulate people, that's what the Democrats do. I will say, though, the pressure campaign by this administration is working. And with the ramp up in ICE enforcement operations, it's actually leading to a lot more self-deportations because people don't want to wait around and find out. People want to have an opportunity to come back into this country. WSMV ran a story last night where a woman has been in the country illegally for 25 years, and she's now considering self-deportation. And they're running this, and they ran it. It's like, oh, it's so sad.
They ran it all day from yesterday early on.
It's like, it's so sad. It's so sad. And I hear this story and I go, actually, this is a good thing. It means that the Trump administration policies are working. But this is how WSMV laid it out.
Immigrants in Middle Tennessee say they have been living in fear ever since an immigration enforcement operation in Nashville resulted in almost 200 arrests.
Oh, my gosh. We're living in fear. We're living in fear because they're removing the illegal aliens. Okay. Am I already supposed to start feeling bad? Am I supposed to start feeling bad? Because I don't. They're going to try and make me feel bad.
Thanks for joining us tonight at 10 o'clock. I'm Tracy Cornett. Tonight, our Braden Ross spoke with one woman who says because of it, she's thinking about deporting herself. She asked us to hide her face and change her name to protect her identity.
I mean, that's a good start. We'll protect you. The Trump administration won't, but WSMV will. I don't feel bad for this woman. I don't. And I know that they want me to, but I'm not gonna. You've been in this country for 25 years illegally. They wrote it up on the website too. They said undocumented. It's illegal. It's illegal. An undocumented woman in Franklin says she's considering to move back to Mexico after more than 25 years of living in the United States because of recent immigration enforcement operations in Nashville. This is proof that the Trump administration policies are working. We've already had close to 1 million self-deportations. We have. And it's because of the pressure campaign by the Trump administration. You want to come back, you got to leave first. And then you'll have an opportunity to come back the right way. This woman in Nashville, they hid her face, they hid her name. They don't want you to know. But she's very, very nervous, very nervous.
When Carmen came to the United States more than 25 years ago, it was to escape a life of fear.
Nosotros tuvimos un asalto en México.
We were victims in Mexico of violence.
Over the last 2 decades, she says she feels like she's become a part of the Franklin community.
Pues llegamos aquí.
And since we were here, we just work and work all day.
But now when she looks around, all she can think about is what she'll be leaving behind.
I'm sorry, 25 years here, 25 years. And you need an interpreter for your interview?
I was thinking that too. She's become part of the community, but she can't speak.
I know. I don't want to be like completely cold, but I do feel like we have to be a bit surgical here. You haven't ingrained yourself in the community in 25 years. You can't speak English. I'm sorry. Come on, man. It's not all right. It's not okay. Now I'm in fear. I was in fear in Mexico, and now I'm in fear in America. Would Mexico be preferable? We can get you back there. A bit of a travel stipend. And grease the wheels, make that a bit smoother. It'll save everybody some time. It'll save everybody some money. She's living in fear, you guys. She's living in fear.
Antes de mayo,
Before May, I was feeling really safety here in this country.
Carmen is undocumented. She says she's tried to get legal status but hasn't been able to. And
in 25 years? 20. How many times you try? Carmen is undocumented. She's illegal. She's here illegally. Carmen is a criminal. How many children did Carmen have while she was here? Anybody ask that question? I mean, I think it's a reasonable question to ask. I think it's 25 years.
she says since the immigration operations in Nashville in May, the life of fear she left behind in Mexico has returned.
Que no hay vida aquí.
We are not having a life here. We are always in our house without getting outside.
Here, she says she lives with the fear of being incarcerated and deported. So now she says she's seriously considering going back to Mexico on her own.
Do it, please. Please, if you're living in fear, ma'am, it's probably best for everybody if you head on back to Mexico. In this news station, WSMV wants to use this piece to make me feel bad. This is emotional manipulation down to every word that they chose. Undocumented. Oh, she barely leaves her home. She was trying to escape violence. No, sorry. She's been here for 25 years. 25 years. I have questions. How many children did you have? How much money did you make in America and send back to Mexico over that time? How much have you helped this community, which you haven't even bothered to learn the language of, in 25 years? I mean, these are serious questions. And while they got a nice abuela on, to make it seem great, for every abuela, we got what, 10 MS-13 members? I'm not feeling bad.
I know some people that they are thinking on doing the same as me because of this situation.
It's something President Donald Trump is encouraging, even introducing a program to give undocumented immigrants free flights back to their countries, plus a $1,000 stipend if they self-deport.
Yeah, I know about the application of CBP Home, but I am not sure that I'm going to do it because I think that it is not real.
Carmen,
you can do it the easy way or you can do it the hard way. Ma'am, it's up to you. I don't know if it's real. Well, you did know the name of the CBP Home app, which I was pretty impressed with. The branding is sticking.
Says she's already packed up or sold off most of her belongings. Her adult children, one a citizen and the other a legal resident, are staying behind.
La mayor parte de mi vida he estado aquí.
I feel that this is my home. I am not sure how it's going to be in Mexico.
When you came here, it was out of fear. Are you afraid to go back?
Sí.
In Franklin, Brennan and Russia, WSMV4.
Oh, it's so sad. 25 years. Didn't learn the language. She has 2 children, 1 legal resident, 1 a citizen. So I'm assuming that the second one she had while she was here, right? Didn't learn the language. She's ingrained in the community. Okay. Listen, self-deport. It'll give you an opportunity to come back. If you're as good of a person as you claim to be, you will have a chance to return the right way through a port of entry as opposed to sneaking back in like you did the first time. Self-deport. Mike in Nashville, you're up next on Super Talk. What's going on, Mike?
Okay, yeah, how you doing, Chris? Hey, listen, man. I agree with some of the things you're saying. People, that have been in this country, this woman, this video you just playing, she should have definitely learned the language, and she damn sure should have went into an immigration office along the way and tried to figure out how to get her paperwork to be a U.S. citizen.
Yep.
You don't wait. You don't wait until the last minute. Only when you find out that you could be deported to. Now you're alarmed all of a sudden.
Yeah, and part of me goes, okay. Can you prove that you've tried to get citizenship, or are you just saying that now because you're fearful of deportation?
No, she never tried. If you've been in the country 25 years, if you had tried, she would have been successful by now. I don't think she's been unsuccessful for 25 years of
I'm with you.
Paperwork to be. You can't be. She, as my grandfather used to say, Chris used to say, I was born at night, just not last night. Just not last night. But I don't believe that. But yeah, listen, man. Now this situation, I want to talk because I haven't got a chance to talk to you about this Alligator Alcatraz.
Oh, let's go. Everybody loves Alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah, well, I want to say some things right quick. Okay, now you got these congressmen from Florida, congressmen from Washington, D.C. They're trying to say that they need to get in. It's always anonymous. I don't know. They claim that somebody died in the last couple of days at this facility. They claim now that there's no showers, there's no running water, they're leaving the lights on 24 hours a day, and other things that's going. But this person, I don't know how. Somebody from there, I don't think they allow cell phones. Somebody claimed that somebody made a phone call to his girlfriend telling him about the conditions. I think all this stuff is made up by these Democrats and these people that want to get this facility shut down, because I can't think to myself that there's a guy that's laying in a bed inside this facility on a cell phone talking to his girlfriend about the conditions on the inside. Yep. Talking about mosquitoes and all that. So I think this is all just a made-up lie to make it look like Trump and his administration are running they even call it a concentration camp. They're not even calling it Alcatraz. Now it's a Auschwitz, like Hitler used to run over in Germany. So now I understand in the next few days, like I said, you can never satisfy these people, Chris. Now a group of Democrats, they force their way to somehow get into the facility, check it out. This is to make sure nobody's rights are being violated. But naturally, as a typical Democrat, they always got something else to say. Now they're saying that they're only going to let them see certain areas. They're going to clean up the areas that have problems and make it look good for when they walk inside. And as soon as they leave the facility, they're going to go back to what they were doing before. Like I said before, you can't win with these people. Yep. They want to have everything go their way. These people in the country illegally, the best bet at this point, just to be real honest with you, and my advice to the women that you just had on the video, the best advice at this point right now is to take the $1,000 cash and go back to Mexico or wherever you come from and come back into the U.S. illegally, do the proper paperwork, and you're more than welcome to come. Instead of having somebody round you up, put you in handcuffs, and you might end up in Alcatraz, and now they're even talking about a third-party country. You may not even end up in the country that you belong in. Yep. So it's best to go ahead and self-deport and then come back in the right way, and which this woman should have done 25 years ago.
100%, Mike. Hey, 100%, man. Appreciate you as always. 615-737-9986 if you want to join the conversation. Alligator Alcatraz. There's a Cuban reggaeton artist who got picked up. He got pinched. He was here. He was undocumented. I know. You're shocked. Lemzy La Figura. He was arrested last week in Miami-Dade on assault charges, was transferred to South Florida's new immigration facility, known affectionately as Alligator Alcatraz in the Everglades. The singer confirmed in a phone call. He and other detainees are claiming that they are enduring inhumane conditions at the site, including the lack of access to water, inadequate food, and denial of religious rights. I don't believe it at all, and I don't expect them to say anything else. Alligator Alcatraz was built ridiculously quick. La Figura, whose real name is Lemzy Izquierdo, was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and battery. He was initially held at Turner Gulford Knight Correctional Center, TGK, before being transferred to Alligator Alcatraz. But in a phone call, he described what he called horrific conditions at Alligator Alcatraz. He said there's over 400 people here. There's no water to take a bath. Does anybody ever get to take a bath in jail? Does any jails have baths? I don't think so. It's been 4 days since I've taken a bath, he says. He claimed the food at the immigration facility is scarce and unsanitary. They only brought a meal once a day, and it had maggots. They never take off the lights for 24 hours. The mosquitoes are as big as elephants. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They're not respecting our human rights. We're human beings. We're not dogs. We're like rats in an experiment. Listen, it was the old-fashioned chart, the FAFO. They told you that you could leave. You chose to stay. You made your bed, Now you lie in it. Got a lot of people waiting on the line to jump in and join the conversation. Steve, Frank, hang on the line. Tom as well. We'll get to your calls next. It's 9:51. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, you like saving money? Of course you like saving money. How about saving money on your health insurance? You might be thinking, it's not open enrollment. I got to wait. No. Both of those things are wrong. You can save money on your health insurance today. What you need to do is call my friend Shane Ring over at Cover Nash. Shane has a brand new option on the market that could change the game for you. New plan will bring your deductible down to just $250. That's right. Just $250, not $5,000, not $8,000. $250. And the best part is you don't have to wait for that open enrollment. You can switch today and start saving money right now. Shane's been doing this for 20 years. He'll shop over 75 different companies to find you the best fit for your budget and your health needs. And it doesn't matter what you're dealing with. You're self-employed, you run your own business, between jobs, overpaying for coverage. Shane can help you, and he can save you 30 to 60% on your monthly premiums. It's time to stop overpaying. It's time to call Shane Ring. 615-465-0023. That's 615-465-0023. Or you can always hit up the website, covernash.com.
Sean Duffy is doing double duty thanks to President Trump. And gotta be careful if you plan to give to the victims of the Texas flooding. Coming up here at 10 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Joan Jones. 9:56 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm Chris Hand. The show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Love those guys. A lot of people waiting to weigh in on the phone lines on this conversation we're having on immigration. I want to go to Frank in Gallatin first. Frank in Gallatin, you were married to an illegal alien?
So I am, but here's the thing. She's a citizen now, but it's not as easy as like the last caller had said, 25 years, do the paperwork and stuff. Even though we were married, and you can interrupt me and ask me any question you want, I'm open. We got married. She was illegal. I didn't know. Once I found out, then we started doing the process.
Wait. So you had no idea that she was an illegal alien when you married her?
No, because when I met her, she was working, and when they're illegal, they get fake Social Security numbers, and you don't know that they're fake because you're like, hey, I didn't start dating her going, hey, what's your Social Security number? She was here working, and I met her, and we fell in love. We dated for a year.
What was the conversation like when she revealed to you that she was an illegal alien?
Well, that's the big question. I was like, holy crap, because
you're married at this point.
That's right. And I was like, what are we going to do? She was pregnant.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, so it was just one of those things that it's shock and awe. So we're like, okay, so we'll have to go through the process and do it. Well, lo and behold, even if you marry an illegal citizen here, you have to go back to your country to finish the paperwork to become a citizen. So because she's here illegally, if she goes back to Mexico, then she's punished by the U.S. government for 5 to 10 years where she cannot come back. It's an automatic punishment. So now we have 2 kids, and we're trying to figure out how we're going to do this. She's like, hey, if I go back to do the paperwork, are you going to let the kids come live with me? And I'm like, no. I go, you came here for a better life. Why would I send our kids there for a worse life? I said, I'll bring them there to visit. Well, anyway, we do the paperwork. We're living in Florida. We get a hold of the governor then. We're trying to get letters for her to stay.
Yeah.
And because she is a Christian, we prayed and prayed and prayed. She got to Mexico, and they approved her to come back to the U.S. in 30 days.
That's crazy.
Yeah, normally it's 5 to 10 years. Now, we've been married now 25 years. We have 3 kids. We're happy. She's been at her job for 6 years, but it took 15 years to get her citizenship.
But you guys didn't stop. You didn't give up. It sounded like the lady in the clip on WSMV kind of just threw her hands up and went, whatever.
That's right. And she should have learned English. Like, my wife had no choice but to learn English just because I'm old and stupid and I won't learn Spanish.
Hey, man, well, hey.
She should have learned English.
I appreciate you telling your story. I think it's a pretty unique story. My question is,
Say if you have any.
How do you get over such a big lie like that?
So I don't know if it was a lie because we never talked about it. I just never asked her, if she was a citizen. So I don't know if that was a lie.
You didn't feel like it was a lie by omission?
Truth. Correct. Yeah. As they say, undocumented. Well, it was an unspoken truth.
It's wild. Hey, Frank, thanks for calling in and sharing your story, man. 10:01, Steve and Frank and Bethpage. I'll get to your calls next. Hang out with us. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Couple of spots this morning to be careful of at Percy Warner Park. You've got some milling and paving work going on Old Hickory Boulevard in both directions, Chickering Road to Hillsborough Pike. And then road work in Brentwood continues on Concord Road on the westbound side at Green Hills Boulevard with just one lane available to traffic. In the news, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy taking on a whole new mission. President Trump has just appointed him to be the interim NASA administrator. In a post on X, the president said Duffy has done a tremendous job of handling our country's transportation affairs. In late May, the president rescinded his nomination of tech billionaire Jared Isaacman to lead NASA, citing a thorough review of prior associations, he said. Isaacman has close ties to Elon Musk. Well, just days after Elon Musk announced a new and improved Grok AI bot on X, Grok responded with anti-Semitic firestorms of posts. The company released a statement early this morning saying they've taken steps to eliminate hate speech. ABC's Will Streakin.
Musk said that this is basically coming down to that the AI bot was too willing to please its users and was giving into the questions that they were asking, because these users were asking very leading, incendiary questions, but the bot was producing kind of these answers, again, these anti-Semitic comments.
Meantime, White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles says President Trump was very, very kind to Elon Musk and that Elon had so much to offer. But she tells the Miranda Devine podcast that it was very troubling ending. Wiles called Elon a fascinating person who sees the world differently and that's what the president saw in him, too. In Mount Juliet, railroad repairs will shut down some roads over the weekend. Mount Juliet Road will close at the railroad crossing starting at 8 p.m. tomorrow through Monday morning. Traffic will be rerouted to Industrial Drive, but tractor trailers will be detoured to Highway 109. And with so many people reaching out to help in Central Texas, there's a new warning issued about some of the charity groups appealing for donations.
Not every appeal is legitimate. The two-word red flag, gift card.
Go to the store, purchase a gift card, give us the number on the back.
Jason Meza is with the Better Business Bureau.
That's as good as gone.
Watch for appeals that seem suspiciously urgent.
They don't want you to take the time to research, to double-check things. So, they're pretty high pressure.
He's urging potential donors to slow down, do some research, and ensure that their contributions are going to the appropriate place. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
We could see some thunderstorms later today. Stick around for the forecast coming up. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
It's 10:07 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We've been having some good conversation today. We played a report from WSMV. It's nice abuela from Franklin. She's been in town for 25 years, undocumented. Now she's fearful of deportations. And it seemed like WSMV was running a puff piece trying to emotionally manipulate you into being anti-mass deportations. Didn't work for me. I'm sure it didn't work for you as well. But it led to an interesting phone call that we had with Frank, who called in. Frank Gallatin, great call, and he was wide open, willing to answer any questions, but he said that he was married to an illegal alien, didn't find out until after they got married. It's a crazy story. But I got a text here from 3514. Said, Chris, this generation today, they have to ask when they're dating, are you a biological male or woman? And now you also have to ask citizenship status. Yeah, it's true. It gets dicier and dicier, doesn't it? Mike in Springfield, you're next on Super Talk. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, thanks, Chris. I'm in Spring Hill.
Spring Hill. Sorry about that. What's up, man?
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for taking my call. I tell you, I get so upset when I'm in the stores and I see these older Spanish, whatever, and they're speaking Spanish, not English. And I go back to my grandma who came over from Hungary, 1900 or so. And bless her heart, I love her, I miss her. But she learned English. You know, it was broken English, but at least she assimilated.
Yep.
And I have a quote. I printed it and I keep it in my nightstand by my bed from Teddy Roosevelt. If you ever get a chance, what he said about immigration, he goes, you know, these immigrants, they deserve to be treated with respect, but they have to assimilate. There can be only one language, and there can only be one flag.
Yep.
And that's what we're missing with these immigrants, illegals, or whatever.
Well, that's been the biggest issue for the longest time is the assimilation. You know, this is what we talked about during the campaign when you flooded a small town in Ohio with 20,000 Haitians, and you know the town only has 60,000 people. There's no way that you can assimilate that. When you have 21 million illegal aliens coming in under the Biden administration, there's no way that you can assimilate that. Like, we're not built to do that. When New York City is bragging that they have 160 different languages in their schools, it's like that's not a flex because your teachers don't speak 160 languages. What you're doing is you're actually hurting the students that are there. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Assimilation needs to be the key factor in immigration.
Oh, yeah. And again, like I say, I printed this quote out from Teddy Roosevelt because they would no longer accept him as a Democrat for that stand.
I don't know if they would accept Clinton as a Democrat these days with some of his stances. I don't know if they would take Obama with some of his stances.
Well, here's mine, and thanks for taking this call. Is Kennedy, JFK, ask not what your country can do for you, but what can you do for your country. Oh, my God, that would not fly today.
Oh, 100%. Actually, JFK, it's funny that you say that. That's one of the things I would say to my in-laws often. You guys voted for JFK, right? So, oh, yeah. Well, you know, he'd be a Republican today. Like, he was cleaning a rifle in the Oval Office. That wouldn't fly if you were a Democrat in 2025. No, it never would. Hey, Mike, I appreciate the call. I appreciate you listening, man.
Thanks. Take care. Just got them playing pickleball.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Good. Have fun out there. Steve on the road. You're up next. Thanks for holding, Steve. What do you got?
Yes, sir. Hey, man, I've kind of been back and forth on this issue myself, and just listening to you and seeing that video of that lady, you know, my heart goes out to her. But at the same time, thinking about this hard is like, you know, they are illegals, and they're also, the way I see it is, they're thieves and they're cheaters because they cheated our system when they came in illegally. And maybe they haven't stolen anything physically with their own two hands, but what they've stolen is opportunity from the American citizens.
I think that you could absolutely make the argument that they've stolen our wealth. And you can make the argument because we know how many illegal aliens send money back to their home country. So they're taking the wealth straight from Americans that could have been getting the job, and then they're sending it out of the country. They're not even spending it in our economy. Now you can make the argument with public schools. You can make the argument with hospitals. I mean, we can go on down the list. They're stealing our wealth.
Yeah, so look, so here's what I think should happen since I've changed my opinion on this. And I mean, the only way to set the standard on this is, so pretty much everything that they have, that they've gained, if you've been here for 25 years and you've been working and you're still illegal and you haven't learned English and you haven't tried to do anything, that means that everything that you have has been stolen from the American people. So not only do you have to leave this country, but I would say everything in your bank account is forfeit and should go to the government. Also, everything you own, if you own things, your car, your house, furniture, clothes, all that stuff should be auctioned off or, used where people in our country that need it can use it. And even though Donald Trump has even said, all the farmers that we're going to make an exception for the people that work on the farms, I disagree with that too, man, because that's not fair to anybody else if you do that, because either the farmers are not paying people a good enough wage and that's why they can't get help, or they're just working people too many hours and too long and too hard. So the farmers, not just, it shouldn't depend on, well, it's going to be up to them if they can vouch for them. No, that's not correct. If they're illegal and they're in this country, no matter what job they're doing, how bad or how hard it is, they have to go.
I'm with you, and I think that's the most fair way to do things, Steve. Like even this woman, we played the news clip from WSMV. She's been in the country for 25 years. Like, I feel for her. I'm sure she's not a bad person, but I also don't think that we should be listening to every sob story because every single illegal alien is going to have a sob story. The most fair thing that we can do is blanket deportations.
Yeah, take the money, go back to your country, wherever you came from. Hopefully you've sent some money back, and I think most of them have. Hopefully you got a little bit of money you can have and keep. Go back to your country and live out your life and see if you can try to do it the right way. And if you can't, then have a nice life in your own country, because you broken the laws here, and you got to. That's how we're going to set the standards for anybody else from here on out in the future. When we're dead and gone, people need to know you can't come in here and steal opportunity from the American people.
Amen. Hey, I appreciate the call, Steve. Thanks so much, as always. Let's go to Bryce in Hendersonville. What's up, Bryce?
Hey, I'm calling you from the swimming pool, and they are mowing our grass around here, so you might hear the lawnmowers running.
All right, good.
Yesterday, we listen to you all the time in the car. I love your show. I never call in, but yesterday I thought I heard you say that the people affected about the going back to work thing for Medicare and Social Security were between 19 and 65. Did I hear that right?
I don't think I did that on my show. It might have been in somebody else's show, but keep going. Make the point.
Well, I'm 70, and my ears perked up when I heard that. It's the first time I heard that. I hope they're not going to send me back to work at 70.
No, I don't think they're gonna, man. I don't see that happening.
That's all I had, man. I love your show. If you find that information, talk about it, okay?
All right, brother. I'll keep an eye out for it, and I appreciate you listening. Appreciate the call. Let's go to Brian in Columbia. Wants to talk about wasted money. What's up, Brian?
What's up, man? This is it's a great show you got going this morning. Thank you for letting people have a say in it. You got the smartest listeners.
Amen.
And I want to join them. I hope I'm one of them. I was telling the guy that answered the phone, Mason or whoever.
Yep.
I'm on Social Security now. Been on it for 3 years or so. I work part time because I want to, because I'm bored. But I always think back now about all the waste, fraud, and abuse as to what my real Social Security benefit would be. I paid in for about 40 years. What it would be if they didn't do it. These illegals that are getting things, just like that last caller said, are they qualifying for Social Security benefits? At some point, they're getting something out of the system, and that makes me so mad because my benefit is a set amount, and it doesn't go up a lot. It does go up with the CCP or CCI, I think, or whatever it is. The pricing index every year, which we got the best one with Biden because he was such an idiot and inflation went through the roof. So thank you for that, Mr. Stupid. But I took the money. I take the money, okay? And I have a problem with it. I was unemployed for a while, and I really, really, really had a problem taking unemployment because I was just so sure I was going to get a job. I mean, I'm employable. I'm pretty good at what I did at the time, and I thought, but I couldn't get a job anywhere. And I was just like, man, what's going on here? And now I know. Trump has taken the scab off. and people don't like it. But people like you that talk about it constantly, just like WSMV, that Comey network or Comey station here locally, they want to highlight people like that crybaby woman. Get your ass back to work. Go back to your country and make it better. And then if you want to come here, I don't have a problem with it. I'm like the last caller. My heart goes out to people that are downtrodden. I give to charities all the time. My God. But pick yourself up by the bootstraps. If you've got any kind of health that God has blessed you with, get your ass out there and do some work.
Amen. And I love what you said. Go make your own country better. And I appreciate the call, Brian. But nobody talks about the brain drain, and it's a real thing. Anybody smart enough to leave some of these hellhole countries, they do, and they come here. And then you have a lack of intelligent, competent people in these countries that are able to do anything to make these countries improve. It's a tale as old as time. Nobody addresses it, ever. Eddie in Hendersonville, you're next on Super Talk. What's up, Eddie?
Hey, Chris. Good morning.
How we doing, man?
Good, brother. The whole situation is such a disaster. I mean, it's been going on 30, 40 years, the immigration situation. I was in the restaurant business for about 30 years, management most of the time. I had a gentleman who worked for me, was from Malaysia. 23 years he tried to do it the illegal way and finally just moved back to Malaysia. It was really pathetic. Spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, court appearances, did everything by the rules, and still couldn't become a citizen.
Well, he did. He did everything by the rules except for the part where he snuck in the country illegally.
No. He came here legally, did everything legally for 23 years.
So he came here.
Gave up.
He came here legally, got a green card, and he's here for 23 years.
Everything. Court appearances.
They kept renewing his green card and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, they kept renewing everything.
Why'd they deny him?
Thousands of dollars. I have no idea. It was always, you need another appearance. You need to do this. You need to fill out this. You need to do that. The system needs a rehaul. And maybe he's an anomaly, but I could tell you, 100%, the guy worked for me for 15 years.
I guess my question would be, why would America need that individual? Do you know what I mean? He works at a restaurant. I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it. I've worked at restaurants and I know a lot of great people that do. It's not a knock, but I'm just saying, why couldn't an American do that job?
Can we backtrack a little bit? The guy came over here, got a degree from University of Tennessee.
That's cool.
And ended up climbing his way up to becoming a step partner for our company.
Okay.
He wasn't just, some guy that was in the back washing dishes for 23 years. The guy's a productive member of society.
So
I've had other situations. I'm not defending it one way or the other. I'm just more curious and trying to put myself in the headspace of why he would be denied. I really wish I knew, but all I can tell you is.
But it sounds like he got a taste of the American dream. He comes over here, he gets a great education, and then he gets to go home. What's wrong with that?
I just don't understand why we keep saying that there needs to be a system in place for these people to do it legally. The guy tried to do it legally for 23 years and just out of sheer frustration gave up and went back to his home country. Either we have a legal system to do it or we don't. 23 years is way, way too long for somebody to become a citizen of this country.
Yeah, I guess I'm just hung up on two things. Why he was denied, and then why it would be imperative for America to keep him.
It's not, but either I feel like it's talk out of both sides of the mouth. We want it done legally.
Yeah.
So the guy tries to do it legally, and then for 23 years just gives up and says the heck with it, and he's happy as could be back in Malaysia.
Yeah, well, why wouldn't he be, man?
He got married,
yeah,
and life turned out well for him. He's not a hateful guy, but
No, and I'm not besmirching him at all. I just think that there's a big hole in the story, and the hole in the story is, why was he denied? What was his claim to come here?
I could tell you, all I could tell you is I fill out paperwork for this guy all the time.
No, I mean, I feel you. I just, without that information, it's hard for me to have an opinion. Do you know what I'm saying?
I got you, but after 23 years, something should happen. He's not an anomaly. I mean,
I don't think that length of time should be a rubber stamp.
Okay, but I'm just saying, why can't we have a system? Either we're going to have a system or we're not going to have a system. Yeah. That's my frustration. Now, on the other end of it, I did want to bring up, if you can give me another minute, I've had multiple people who weren't here, on the up and up, that were employed, and then I'd get a letter from the IRS saying they owe $30,000, and either they're going to pay the $30,000 over time, or you got to terminate them immediately. And then what happens? What do these guys do? They go right down the street and start working someplace else, and it's a crap show. I'm totally on your side, Chris. But when I saw that situation happen with this guy over 15 years of his 23 years, something's got to give.
No, I mean, I get where you're at. You know the guy personally. I don't, so it's harder for me to make that determination. And without the information of why he was denied, again, it's hard for me to have an opinion.
What do you think is reasonable for people to come here legally to be able to get citizenship?
I think you need to be benefiting this country in some form or fashion. I think that's key.
Does that mean only doctors or only nurses?
No,
or
not necessarily.
Only what we need? Or
no, I mean, I'm not trying to like put it into a box. But there are definitely going to be industries where we need more help, and I'm not against legal immigration.
Because, 90% of what you say, I'm on your side 100%. And like I said, this guy may be an anomaly because I've seen the other end of it where these guys...
I know, but you keep saying he might be an anomaly, but, like, did he apply for asylum and get denied? Like, that these details matter. You know what I mean? So it's hard for me to form an opinion.
He came over here originally on a student visa. So
then his student visa ran up. He got a great education, and then they didn't grant him citizenship.
No, he was never granted it over the 23-year period.
I mean,
he was always on resident alien status.
Yeah, I get that he's your friend, but like I don't feel bad for him. Like you said, he's back in Malaysia. He's happy. He's married. He has a great American education from the University of Tennessee. It sounds like he got a taste of the American dream. He got a bite of the apple, and he's going to thrive in Malaysia because of it. Like I don't see the issue. Yeah, I would just need to know more information on why he was denied.
I don't never had the guy's file.
Yeah, well, I don't either. So you know what I mean? Do you get where I'm at? I'd love to learn more though, Eddie. I appreciate the call. It's 10:25 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I've actually read several negative Matt Murphy reviews on bicyclist.com. Just let the record show that there are quite a few. Check the archive. Hey, it's Chris Hand. I want to tell you about my friends over at Better Water LLC. If you're tired of weird smell stains or just plain old bad tasting water at your home or at your office, these are the guys that you need to call. Think about it as like installing a giant Brita filter for your entire house. So that's all the water coming out of your shower, out of your tap, and it's going to be perfect. If you don't have this water filter, you could have some nasty stuff in your water: sulfur, iron, chlorine, bacteria, even E. coli. Now, the good news is Better Water will test your water for free. Maybe you don't have an issue. That's great. Maybe you do have some of that nasty stuff in there. If so, you're talking to the right people already, because Better Water offers a full range of options. From reverse osmosis to specialized filters, UV lights, Better Water has you covered, and they're a local company, too, based right out of Smyrna. If you want to stop drinking the junk coming out of your tap, give Better Water a call today. 615-355-6063. That's 615-355-6063. Don't forget, tell them Chris Hand said that you'll test my water for free. They'll do it for you. Find them online, betterwater.com.
So the Supreme Court said no nationwide injunctions when it comes to birthright citizenship. But now a judge has just issued a new order. We've got that for you coming up here at 10:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Looking forward to that newscast with you, Joan Jones. It's 10:28, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm Chris Hand. Got a couple phone calls to run through real quick. Let's go to Shane in Russellville. What's up, Shane?
Hey, man. I just want to tell you, I found myself between jobs a while back, and through a third-party staffing place, I was put in a plastic injection molding facility, and I was one of the only English-speaking people there, and that included the leads and bosses. So every time they say that they're here making minimum wage or whatever, that place started you out at $20 an hour. And their bosses make a hell of a lot more than that. So they're not here scraping by and barely making ends meet. They're taking a lot of fairly decent jobs away from Americans. I mean, I wouldn't say $20 an hour is not to sneeze at.
And you're not just taking the job away from the American citizen, right? You're also sending a good portion of that money back to your home country. So you're taking the money away from the American citizen, and then you're taking the money away from the American economy.
Exactly.
Yep, I'm with you, Shane. I hear you. We got a lot more phone calls on the way. Plus, James Comey, John Brennan under investigation. It's a classic look over here, stop asking about Epstein, but we'll talk about it because I do think it's important. 10:30, it's Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Moments ago, a federal judge. All right. Moments ago, a federal judge has once again barred President Trump from limiting birthright citizenship, despite a recent Supreme Court ruling. U.S. District Judge Joseph LaPlante in New Hampshire has given class action status to a lawsuit brought by the ACLU representing any babies born in the U.S. to illegal immigrants. That status allows him to go around the Supreme Court ruling and to block the president's policy. Waiting for the administration to reply. The Defense Department has just become the largest shareholder in rare earth mining company MP Minerals, buying $400 million worth of its preferred stock. MP Materials owns the only operational rare earth mine in the U.S. It's in Mountain Pass, California. Rare earth materials are used in the production of many military weapon systems. An update here on a story of a woman who repeatedly stowed away on airplanes at several different airports last year. Her name is Svetlana Dali. She's being sentenced today.
Room for several hours and faked vomiting to keep the flight attendants away. They only figured out she was a stowaway shortly before landing and made her sit in a seat reserved for flight crew. Once Dolly reached France, she was arrested and French authorities sent her back to the U.S.
Please help me. I don't want to go to the United States.
Federal prosecutors say stowaway travel is a serious offense that endangers both the offender and other air passengers.
Svetlana Dali spent 7 months in jail, and prosecutors will advocate for time served when she's sentenced today. That's the latest news. We've got your weather up next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here talking about my friends at the Glock store. Sorry, I got interrupted by Joan Jones. She gave me a spaghetti squash. It has nothing to do with the commercial, but it is a glorious spaghetti squash. She said the
best of the squashes.
She said her house has been overrun by spaghetti squashes.
Really?
That's what she told me.
She's got extra. Let me know.
All right, so hey, it's Chris Hand here from my friends at the Glock store. We are so lucky to have the Glock store here in Nashville. One of the reasons Glocks are most popular handguns in America is the wide availability of custom and performance parts. And they got it all, from competition triggers to night sights to extended controls to magwells to red dot optics, and I could go on and on and on and on. But rest assured, if it's for a Glock, it's going to be at the Glock store. They carry it. And if the doors are open and the lights are on at the Glock store, you know that there's an official gunsmith on duty, and they'll install all those parts you purchased for your Glock for free while you wait. You heard me. You heard me right. They'll install the parts for free while you wait. Whatever parts you purchase to customize or enhance your Glock, when you find them at the Glock store, install for free while you wait. You buy the parts, they install them for free. Lots of reasons like the Glock store. Free parts installation is just one of them. I know you'll find even more to like about the Glock store when you check them out. Minutes from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere. Always open online, glockstore.com. It's 10:37 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can watch us on Super Talk TV. That's on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. We're back on Rumble and YouTube. We might have to migrate over to Rumble as our favorite pretty soon. I can't hear you. Your mic getting on.
Maybe once we get it figured out.
Yeah, is it still?
Yeah,
being...
it's like Rumble's taking their sweet time getting back to us on making sure we can get everything set up because it got taken down for a little bit. They're taking their sweet time.
All right. Well, we'll wait on that then. Can you see my spaghetti squash in the shot on Super Talk TV?
You can see your spaghetti squash on the shot.
I asked that like right as we're about to come back from break. I'm like, you can see the spaghetti squash that Joan Jones gave me, right?
Oh,
and Mason was like, he's like, I'm busy.
I'm busy. I can't help you.
It's like, dude, look at my squash.
It's impressive.
I'm very excited. I'm already getting people are texting in spaghetti squash recipes. I'll be honest with you. It's not my first rodeo. I've been down this road before. I got it. I can handle the spaghetti squash. We've been talking a lot about illegal immigration today. The conversation really started because Senator Alex Padilla, the loser who got cuffed because he was trying to run down Kristi Noem during a press conference, and Cory Booker, they're pushing new legislation that is going to require the ICE agents be demasked and have some identifier on them, their name, badge number, something like that. It's ridiculous. They're trying to get these guys killed. We've seen the violence ramp up via the rhetoric of the Democrats, and now we're seeing actual violence in the streets against these officers. 700% increase in assaults on ICE officers, and we're seeing the ambushes start taking place in Portland and in Texas. Tricia McLaughlin, the deputy, what's her official title? She is the DHS assistant secretary. Tricia McLaughlin was on Fox News talking about the violence that has been ramping up.
To get worse, but Dana, to that point, our ICE enforcement officers, our law enforcement are seeing a 700% increase in assaults against them. Over the weekend, we saw 3 of these different incidents. There was as well Border Patrol were shot at. They were ambushed as well, again in Texas. We saw this again in Portland. This is something our Homeland Security investigators and the FBI and other interagency partners are really digging into. But there's something broader going on, and it's that politicians and the media alike are trying to normalize violence and attack against our law enforcement.
Yep.
You look at Karen Bass out of California, Gavin Newsom, Tim Walz, all of them likening ICE enforcement officers and our first responders to the Nazis, to the modern-day Gestapo. That is giving a free pass to these lunatics to take action and really get someone killed. It's despicable, and it is incumbent upon Democrat politicians and the media to turn this rhetoric down.
Yeah, honestly, and when she says someone's going to get killed, I think she's right. However, I envision it being more of one of these lunatics getting their head removed from their shoulders via an ICE agent, and then I see the leftist media using that as a way to further label them as Nazis and Gestapo. You can see it. The writing's on the wall. One of these lunatic Antifa members is going to get shot and killed because of their assault on ICE, and then the left will spin it as ICE is evil. Just mark the tape. That's coming. 615-737-9986 if you want to join the conversation. 615-737-9986. The DHS, they're not slowing down. ICE, not slowing down. An MS-13 kingpin has been nabbed in Nebraska. That's a big story. Nobody really thinks of Nebraska as the land for MS-13 kingpins. Yet after 4 years of open borders under Joe Biden, here we are. Bill Maloogian had the exclusive yesterday. Early this morning, the Omaha, Nebraska area ICE arrested an MS-13 kingpin who was wanted for 5 aggravated murders in El Salvador and is on the country's most wanted fugitive list. Multiple ICE officials tell Fox News. When the Democrats are defending illegal aliens, remember, this is who they're talking about. ICE also arrested an MS-13 associate he was living with, 30-year-old Rene Saul Escobar Ochoa, who was also wanted in El Salvador for allegedly giving orders to fellow gang members to commit multiple murders. Both men are illegal aliens who had embedded themselves in the Omaha area. Fox is told the kingpin is not being identified due to the sensitivity of the ongoing investigation. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons' statement to Fox: when ICE agents move in to make an arrest, it is extremely important that the public not interfere. The misinformation and sometimes blatant lies being spread around the country could result in someone stepping into a federal operation and suddenly finding themselves face-to-face with a killer who has nothing to lose. Our ICE officers and agents are protecting your neighborhoods, even when you don't know the threat is there, so either support them or get out of the way. Good advice. Let's go to Dave in the borough. You're next on Super Talk. What's going on, Dave?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Not bad. I just wanted to bring up a point that I watched from a docudrama back in the 1980s about a DEA agent that was murdered in Guadalajara, Mexico. And it caused the federal government, DEA and feds, to go down and do an investigation. And that investigation wound up all the way in Mexico City in its government, and they found the KGB operating there. This was in the 1980s.
Yeah, none of that shocks me whatsoever. And in fact, I think I think we need to ramp up a lot of operations against these cartels and take it to them where they are, as opposed to just focusing on them here.
And not just them, but the infiltration of foreign agents in Mexico City and their government. I feel for the Mexican people. I mean, they should be able to control and create a very, democracy of their own in their own country.
Yeah.
But the reason why they can't is because obviously these people that are in control of what's going on and with all the crime and drugs and kidnapping and all that stuff in Mexico. So, yeah, I know that we have, as the United States, have financially bailed out Mexico's peso more than once. So, we're talking about billions of dollars bailouts in the past history. So, I mean, why not get serious about this too?
I hear you, and I'm with you, Dave. I appreciate the call. Let's go to Bobby in. Did Bobby say Nash Vegas, or did you write Nash Vegas? Bobby, did you
brother.
Did you
Bobby
say?
in Nash Vegas, my man. Hey, Chris.
What's up, man?
Deal with the ICE, man. What about these politicians? Are they supposed to be held accountable for inciting violence or something? I mean, I don't understand that. You look at these other countries, man, with all this stuff going on, with people participating and keeping people from getting arrested. They don't put up with it in these other countries.
Yep.
Man, they clap you right upside the head, and that's what they're going to have to start doing here. I mean, I hate to say it, but hey, if you're interfering in an ICE arrest, they're shooting their little gas things off or whatever. Dude, just go over and grab them by the neck, load them up in the van, and take them down to the jail, and just leave them in there. You know what I'm saying?
I like that approach. I think
that.
I think your approach is efficient, and I think I like it. I'm with it. I think that if you're gonna F around, you should find out. Derek in Nashville, what's up, man?
Hey, just calling about your previous caller before the break. You were talking about, well, he's been here 20 plus years.
Yeah, let me reset real quick. So the previous caller before the break was talking about a guy that he worked with. He came over on a student visa, went to University of Tennessee, got a great college education, stayed here for about 23 years, if I recall correctly, and then couldn't gain legal status and decided to go home. So continue with your thought.
Okay. Well, my thought is the immigration was just stringing him along. That decision to whether you made a point, does he a benefit to the U.S. or not, should have been made once he got his degree, and then that pass should have been however many years. Oh, yes, you're a candidate to stay in the country. No, you're not a candidate to country. The student visa's up. You're going home. Or, yes, you're a candidate. 5 years? Get you a job, prove yourself, become a citizen, not string somebody along for 20 years. How long was he going to be strung along? Another 20 years?
Yeah, I mean, there were some holes in that story and some missing information that would have helped us get a clearer picture, guaranteed. So I don't know. I'm undecided on what that story really was.
Well, I do know other people that are on that have green cards that came in first as a student visa, and the 10 people I know that are here that came across as a student visa, they're still here working on a green card.
Cool.
Where's the decision to say, okay, we came in to get your education, you got your education, thank you very much, go home.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how it should be, unless you're going to benefit the country. That's just me. Appreciate the call, Derek. Let's go to Dave on the road. What's up, Dave?
Oh, not much. Hey, I think they should give them all those, those real life masks of Agent Smith from The Matrix, and then give everybody a Smith name tag.
I love it. That's clean. I like it. Thanks for the call, Dave. Will in Lebanon. What's up, man?
Hey, about 3 weeks ago, I called back in when they're having the riots in L.A.
Yes, sir.
And I was talking about I was afraid that ICE might end up having to defend themselves and they may end up killing somebody.
Yep.
What I'm worried about more than anything, because we know these jerks get AR-15, somebody's financing them.
Yep.
I'm afraid if ICE end up having to defend themselves to end up killing somebody, that a lot of people are going to turn on ICE. I'm not one of them. I'm with ICE 110%.
Yeah, I mean, I would feel like the people that are going to turn on ICE have already turned on ICE. I don't know if any new incident is going to turn people one way or the other. I don't know. Maybe I'm naive. I feel like everybody's kind of made up their mind on this.
That's my main worry is that right now everybody is gung ho. Let's get them out of here and all this stuff. I think the Democrats are setting up, hoping to God that ICE does kill somebody and that the public will turn on them, and the Democrats will come out like heroes.
Yeah, I mean, I made that point earlier. Like, I see that writing on the wall too. That they're at some point an ICE officer is going to kill somebody that's assaulting ICE officers, and the left is going to run with it and spin the narrative as, oh, this peaceful protester was taken out by ICE, and then we'll see the rhetoric ramped up. But I don't think that that's going to change anybody's mind. Like, I think that people are already pretty pro ICE or anti ICE, and they're steadfast in their position.
Yeah, I agree to a certain point, but the same thing. A lot of people were backing the police and things like that in the '60s until Kent State, or when they had to defend themselves too. I don't know. The American public is fickle. One moment they're thinking one way, and something happens, and they turn another way.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't matter what you do. They'll turn on you if it's spun like they were peaceful and people believe it.
Yeah, I mean, but that might have worked like in years past. I don't think that the American people are so quick to be spoon-fed a narrative by the mainstream media on either side anymore.
Well, the difference nowadays is than earlier is now everybody's got cell phones and they're recording a lot of this stuff.
Yep.
That's the only saving grace we have now. But I'm still afraid it doesn't matter, that if something happens, a lot of people may turn on them, and I'm not one of them, but I'm afraid that might happen.
You may be right. You may be right. One of the greatest things about the cell phones and the internet, though, is that we can debunk these lies in real time. It's an absolute blessing, one that we should definitely not take for granted. It's currently 10:51 on the way. John Brennan, James Comey under investigation. We'll talk about it. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Coming up, we've got more reaction to the Department of Justice saying there is no Epstein file list, and a reason you better check the pantry. There has been a recall for some crackers. Details coming up at 11 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hans, 1056, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Shows brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. I mean, yeah, there's still a lot of questions about the Epstein stuff. Marjorie Taylor Greene was talking about it yesterday. Marjorie Taylor Greene makes quite a bit of sense. She was on The War Room with Steve Bannon talking about the Epstein files. This is what she had to say.
FBI and DOJ need to turn over all the information they have?
My recommendation is this case should not be closed. We have Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison right now, and her little black book was ordered to be sealed under the court. And it has over 2,000 names of rich, powerful people and politicians in that contact list. So it's hard. It's just, look, there's nothing wrong with asking these questions. There's nothing wrong with saying we want to know more about this. And I think that's important. It's important to say I support President Trump and his administration while continuing to say we want more answers on this. That's not disloyalty. That's actually thinking for yourself, and it's actually pushing for better accountability. And that's what the American people deserve. And I think it's incredibly important to keep asking those questions. The American people are fed up with what they consider to be being lied to or told a narrative that's not true. And that's what this election was about, not only in 2016, but again in 2020 and 2024. The American people demand that the deep state no longer control this country. The American people demand loyalty and truth and transparency, and that is the right thing to continue to search for.
Now, I'm with Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think there's a lot more information on Epstein that we're not being given by the federal government. That being said, there are a lot of areas where we're not getting information and accountability from the federal government, though it seems to start to be happening in some areas. We got news yesterday that James Comey, John Brennan are under investigation. Then we got news today that we finally have some Secret Service agents being held accountable for what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania. Again, we're more than a year away from that incident, or just about a year away from that incident. 3 days will mark a year since that assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania, and we're just now seeing some accountability. It's crazy. And the other crazy thing about the Secret Service agents wasn't that we're seeing accountability, is that nobody was actually fired. We only have Secret Service agents being suspended. Jesse Waters was talking about this last night.
News alert, we're learning tonight 6 Secret Service agents that were connected to Trump's Butler assassination attempt have been suspended. This comes just days shy of the shooting's anniversary. The identities of the agents suspended are unknown, but sources say their roles range from supervisory positions to line-level agents. We'll continue to monitor this story and bring you any updates as they come.
ABC News put it this way: discipline against the 6 agents was issued in recent months, and the agents were given the right to appeal. The suspensions range from 10 to 42 days, according to the official who was briefed on the agency's actions. According to CBS News, Deputy Director of the Secret Service, Matt Quinn, said that the 6 employees received 10 to 42-day suspensions without pay or benefits and were assigned roles with reduced operational responsibilities upon their return. It's a good start. I think some of these agents should have been fired, and I think there's still a lot of questions about both of the assassination attempts. Thomas Matthew Crooks, what was up with his house? No silverware, totally sterile. It's a really weird situation. We don't know anything about him. Ryan Ruth, his ties to Ukraine, we haven't learned anything about that, but accountability is coming, I guess. But Russiagate, they're investigating that. James Comey, John Brennan under investigation. John Brennan was on MSNBC yesterday with some crocodile tears. We'll bring you that audio when we get back. It's 11 o'clock. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
It's 11 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories, and there is a 30% chance today you're going to get some relief from the heat in the form of a shower or thunderstorm. For the rest of you, it's going to be sunny and hot. We're going to be flirting with a feels like temperature that's going to be right around 100 degrees. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Tennessee U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn says she's hopeful information can still be uncovered leading to arrests of clients of Jeffrey Epstein. This is even though the Department of Justice says no client list exists. Well, Blackburn released a statement yesterday on X after that announcement. She says, for years, I have fought to expose the business associates of Jeffrey Epstein and those who were bankrolling his trafficking ring. This has never been about celebrity. It has always been about achieving justice for the young women and girls who have been trafficked and abused. Senator Blackburn goes on to say, I'm hopeful we can still uncover this information from the financial records to assist law enforcement in locking up whom she calls vile criminals. President Trump's birthright citizenship executive order is being blocked nationwide just 1 week after the Supreme Court said a single judge's order can't do that. But Fox News says this particular judge, appointed in 2007 by then President George W. Bush, has granted nationwide class action status to all infants impacted by this order. And the maker of Ritz crackers is recalling 4 carton sizes of the Ritz peanut butter cracker sandwiches due to incorrect labeling that could lead to allergic reactions. The affected cartons, which were manufactured in the U.S. and sold nationwide, include individually wrapped packs that may be incorrectly labeled as cheese, even though they may be a peanut butter variety. Very dangerous for those who have a peanut allergy. And entertainment news here in Nashville, country singer, comedian, and entertainer Ray Stevens is recovering after suffering a heart attack. According to his social media, the 86-year-old country star underwent minimally invasive heart surgery yesterday morning in Nashville. He was reportedly admitted to the hospital last Friday after he complained of chest pains. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, boys, how'd that go?
It's 11:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners. You get those at betterwater.com. You can listen to us anywhere, iHeartRadio, tune in, the FM dial. You can watch us, Super Talk TV. We are now live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Rumble. You got to search 99.7 WTN, all one word on Rumble. That's how you find us there. But we're officially up on Rumble. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. We've been clamoring for that behind the scenes, just to let you know. Clamoring. So we're on Twitch, but we're not on Rumble. That's an L. We're holding an L, and we've transformed that into a big win. We're live on Rumble. Search 99.7 WTN. So John Brennan is under investigation. James Comey under investigation because of their role in Russiagate. Now, ex-CIA Director John Brennan says he's had no contact with federal authorities amid the FBI probe. He claims to be clueless about why he's being investigated. He has no idea. None. This is from the New York Post. Former CIA Director John Brennan claims he's clueless as to why the FBI would open a criminal probe against him and says he's had no contact with federal authorities related to an investigation. He was talking with Nicole Wallace on MSNBC, and he said, quite frankly, I don't know what's true. I don't know what's true. He also responded to the DOJ investigation about the Russian collusion, the Russian election interference, and says that all of his interference reviews were done in an apolitical and nonpartisan fashion, and he wants the Trump administration to, and I quote, get over it. This is John Brennan on MSNBC yesterday.
Does it mean that this happened now?
Well, it means, from my perspective, that the women and men of the CIA deserve, stronger, better, apolitical, nonpartisan leadership at such a challenging time of our national security globally with everything that's going on. And it's clear that Mr. Ratcliffe decided that he was going to initiate this, I think, again, to try to satisfy the interest, the urge of Donald Trump, who continues to claim that the assessment of Russian interference in the 2016 election was a hoax. It was not. It clearly was not. Russia interfered. They tried to help Donald Trump. They tried to hurt Hillary Clinton. They tried to, undermine the democratic foundations of our country in terms of our election integrity. This has been validated over and over again. Move on. Get over it. But clearly, Donald Trump, believes that this is something that I think continues to need to be looked at and criticized. But again, I stand behind the assessment. I think the assessment has stood the test of time. And again, I point to those reviews that were done in an apolitical, nonpartisan fashion.
Oh, he did all the reviews in an apolitical, nonpartisan fashion. The Trump administration needs to get over it. I have no idea why they're doing this. It's been proven time and time again. Russia did interfere in the 2016 election to hurt Hillary Clinton. It's like, are we doing this? Are you doubling down? You're doubling down. What was it? What did they prove that Russia did? They bought some Facebook ads. Oh my gosh. Heavens to Betsy. Meanwhile, the Biden administration, they would silence you on Facebook if you said anything positive about Trump. John Brennan he's shook. He's nervous. You can hear it in his voice. He gets increasingly nervous and agitated as this interview goes on with Nicole Wallace, and he gets increasingly entrenched in the leftist rhetoric. He starts labeling what the FBI is doing to him over the Russian collusion hoax to what was done in Nazi Germany. I can't make it up. The victim status with this grown man is embarrassing, yet he wants you to understand that he is the victim in all of this. It has nothing to do with his actions and what happened in 2016, what happened post-2016, how they hamstrung Donald Trump's presidency for the first 2 years. Don't focus on that. Focus on how John Brennan is a victim.
I keep thinking, okay, this is the authoritarian playbook. We've seen this play out so many times, and unfortunately, I think we're seeing it play out. And a number of academics and writers have pointed out, and Carl Schmitt, who was a German jurist, political philosopher, and writer in the 1930s, his thesis, which Nazi Germany basically took up, was don't worry about doing something that is ethical or principled or good or right. do whatever you can to win, vanquish your adversaries, vanquish your enemies. And unfortunately, we have seen that happening overseas. We've seen it in Viktor Orban in Hungary. We've seen it with Vladimir Putin. We see it in China, other places. We see it also in terms of, some of the foreign policies that are being implemented, including, in the Middle East right now. So
the lack of self-awareness of this guy. Do anything you can. Are we witnessing classic projection? I feel like we're witnessing classic projection. Do anything you can to win. Oh, like you did in 2016, like you did post 2016, like you did in 2020. Do anything you can to win, like you did in 2024 when he decided to remove Joe Biden and install Kamala Harris. This is projection.
I really am very worried that what we're seeing now in this chapter of American history is a sad deterioration of, I think, the respect for the rule of law and for our system of government. And if a president of the United States is willing to weaponize intelligence and justice and, law enforcement investigators, and the people who head up these departments and agencies are willing to bow to it, we really are in deep, deep trouble, which was why I think so many people are worried about the direction this country is taking.
He is so shook. He is projecting everything on Trump that the left has done to conservatives and Trump for the last 10 years. It's insane. It's insane. But you can hear it in his voice. He's nervous. I think that John Brennan knows judgment is coming. And he goes on to say that he really is worried. He said, I think the respect of the rule of law for our government, it's sadly deteriorating. It's like, where were you the last 4 years when we had wide open borders? Where were you when we had no First Amendment? Where were you when they were calling moms at school board meetings domestic terrorists? That wasn't a bridge too far. No. This is a bridge too far. Got it. So John Brennan's making these comments. Donald Trump was asked about John Brennan and James Comey yesterday on how they're being investigated and whether or not he would like to see them in jail. It was Peter Doocy that asked the question. Donald Trump responding how only he can, calling both of them crooked as hell.
James Comey and John Brennan now under criminal investigation related to the Trump-Russia probe. Do you want to see these two guys behind bars?
Well, I know nothing about it other than what I read today, but I will tell you, I think they're very dishonest people. I think they're crooked as hell, and maybe they have to pay a price for that. I believe they are truly bad people and dishonest people. So whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, I'm waiting for something to happen. We'll see. We'll probably be the skeleton in the rocking chair before this is all said and done, just waiting and waiting and waiting. I mean, didn't Comey just a couple weeks ago, slyly threaten to assassinate the president on social media via seashell? We forget about that. Nothing came of that. Just a casual death threat via seashell. No big deal. No accountability. I hope that we see some accountability. Donald Trump wants to see them both behind bars. Maybe we will. Trump also posted a Truth Social. This was this morning, referencing Comey and Brennan, saying, the great Greg Jarrett. It's clear Trump was framed. The collusion narrative was a conspiracy itself. The collaborators knew it was a lie, but they manipulated the dossier and the CIA to peddle their fairy tale. Brennan and Comey manipulated the system and the document itself. They abused their power. Comey launched the case against Trump in violation of FBI regulations. He deceived the FISA court with a dossier to gain a spy warrant. John Brennan used that same dossier knowing it was garbage, and he insisted it be put into the Intelligence Committee assessment. He knew it was such a phony document, and that if it could be put in the Intelligence Committee assessment, it would elevate the credibility and that he could drive Trump from office. He told Congress that it wasn't in the assessment. Well, it was. Can he be charged? Yes, he can. They eroded confidence and trust in the American government, particularly the FBI, CIA, and other agencies single-handedly. They set America back considerably. James Comey needs daily therapy. He is so obsessed with his hatred of Trump. It's what drove the Russia hoax. He, more than anybody else, drove the witch hunt, and he can never get over the fact that he failed and got fired, and he hates that as well. On his way out the door, he purloined FBI documents and leaked them to the media with the plan that this will trigger the special counsel and drive Trump from office. Bob Mueller was appointed, his longtime friend and mentor, but in the end, his scheme failed. Wow. Thank you, Greg. Amazing reporting. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Greg. Amazing reporting. That's Trump's view on everything. Are we going to see something come of this? We'll see. It's going to take some time, but I do think that both of these guys have a lot of smoking guns around them when it comes to Russia collusion and the hoax that was. It was the first. It was like baby's first hoax. It was a big one. Maybe we'll see something. Maybe we won't. You never know. I was pretty confident we were going to see some Epstein stuff. Yet here we are. The New York Post continued. Brennan, who led the CIA under former President Barack Obama, is believed to be under investigation for lying to Congress about the Steele dossier, which contains salacious allegations tying President Trump to Russia. The Post's Miranda Devine reported last week that Brennan may have set himself up to face perjury charges after a new email surfaced in a CIA lessons learned review of the agency's assessment that Russia meddled in the 2016 presidential election to help President Trump. The email indicated that Brennan insisted that the discredited Steele dossier be included despite strong pushback from CIA's two most senior Russia experts. So Brennan demanded that it be included, even though his experts were saying, you shouldn't. Brennan, however, claimed during congressional testimony in May 2017 that the Steele dossier wasn't part of the corpus of intelligence information that we had. 6 years later, he testified to the House Judiciary Committee that the CIA was very much opposed to having any reference or inclusion of the Steele dossier in the Trump-Russia report, saying, I testified in front of many congressional committees in the House and Senate over the years, and I continue to explain what we did during this process, Brennan told Wallace, why we tried to make sure that we stayed true to our intelligence responsibilities and that we were not going to do anything at all to try and interfere in that election. Brennan described the 2016 probe as a challenging time and argued that it showed the best of what the intelligence community in the CIA is made of. Let's read that one more time. Brennan described the 2016 Trump probe as a challenging time and argued that it showed the best of what the intelligence community and what the CIA is made of. It's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Showed the best. The New York Times is reporting on this as well. New York Times a little bit more rosy when it comes to John Brennan. Their headline, administration takes steps to target two officials who investigated Trump. Like, even from the jump on the headline, it's like, no. The Trump administration is taking steps to investigate two officials who targeted Trump. Not who investigated Trump. They're not targeting these individuals. They're investigating them. These individuals made a decision to target Trump. James Comey, John Brennan. New York Times continues. It's unclear whether the moves will lead to charges, but they suggest that Trump's appointees intend to follow through on his campaign to exact retribution against his perceived enemies. It's not retribution, it's accountability. It's not perceived enemies. These are real enemies. These guys lied and tried to end Donald Trump's presidency before it even got off the ground. The Trump administration appears to be targeting officials who oversaw the investigation into the 2016 Trump campaign's connections to Russia, examining the actions of the former FBI Director James B. Comey and the former CIA Director John O. Brennan, according to people familiar with the situation. John Ratcliffe, the CIA Director and a harsh critic of his Democratic-appointed predecessors, has made a criminal referral of Mr. Brennan to the FBI, accusing him of lying to Congress, officials said. The Bureau is also scrutinizing Mr. Comey for his role in the Russia investigation, other officials said, although the exact basis for this inquiry remains unclear. Still trying to figure it out. We have no idea. We have no idea. The left is going to try and cover for these guys as best they can. The right is going to investigate these guys. I do hope that the truth shakes out. We'll see where this all lands, and we'll cover it for you right here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's going on? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. It is that time of the year again where you need to get your AC system serviced the best way, the right way, the Busy Bee way, or you're waiting for a problem to pop up. Or maybe you're going on vacation and you want that peace of mind. You don't want a plumbing disaster to ruin your peace of mind while you're away. And right now, Busy Bee is offering a smart Wi-Fi shutoff valve installed by their expert techs for just $12.49 all July. That's serious peace of mind at a great price. And if you're looking to upgrade the comfort in your home, if you buy a new HVAC system, you get free air duct fogging and a UV light home treatment because clean air matters. Now, maybe you don't need the HVAC unit, but you do want that air duct cleaning. Well, buy the middle tier package. Busy Bee will upgrade you to the deluxe package for free all month long. Don't wait. Call Busy Bee today. They'll make financing easy. 0% for 18 months with approved credit and payments as low as $100 a month on HVAC replacements. 615-775-7833. That's 615-775-7833. Or find them online, busybeehvac.com.
Listen, if you
Birthright citizenship ban blocked again. And we'll tell you about the U.S. government's plan to fight a flesh-eating maggot. These stories and more at 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Those are my favorite kind of maggots.
Yeah.
How you doing, Ken?
I'm doing all right, brother Chris Hand.
Man, you're not here. We miss you. We miss you in studio.
I miss being in studio.
I can imagine.
It is it's a tough task working from home.
Yeah, it's there's a vibe. There's an energy in the studio.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
I can see everybody.
I can't see you. But you know what? I'll see you every time I close my eyes, brother. Every time. That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom. Headlines on the way. It's 11:25. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. I wanted to cover this yesterday, but we kind of ran out of time. China, no farmland for you. I mean, this was a big story. They talked about it at the cabinet meeting a little bit. China owning farmland in the United States, massive national security risk. It's like, yeah, duh.
Hegseth, Secretary Noem, and Attorney General Bondi and I had a press conference at the USDA. I just happened to have a chart in case it came up, but obviously the Chinese owning of farmland in our country is a massive national security issue. And for the media, you can see the yellow is where all of the farms have been purchased over the last number of years. And the red is around all of the military bases where that farmland has been purchased.
Yeah, it's a huge national security risk. I would go a step further. I don't think it's just farmland that we need to be worried about. I think it's all land ownership for Chinese nationals. I think we should absolutely be scrutinizing as highly as we can. You want to buy land, it needs to be very far away from any critical infrastructure or military bases. Very far away. I think that's being as nice as humanly possible. We need to focus on this. We need to focus on China. We do need to continue to understand that while we have massive problems at home when it comes to illegal immigration, our biggest enemy, foreign adversary is going to be China. And I saw a crazy story the other day. A Chinese warship did a laser attack on a German reconnaissance aircraft on a Red Sea Houthi mission. It's wild, and it seems like things are ramping up in the Middle East. Germany has summoned the Chinese ambassador for a dressing down after it stated that a Chinese warship, unprovoked and without warning, fired a laser weapon at an aircraft on a European Union military mission. The militaries of several developed nations are developing and deploying experimental laser weapons, a non-kinetic, potentially cost-effective anti-air capability for blinding military aircraft and shooting down drones and missiles. We're officially in space laser territory. We're doing space lasers now. Germany alleges that China has used such a device in anger against one of its aircraft over the Red Sea in the text of a diplomatic protest issued against Beijing. Per the German Foreign Ministry, the Chinese military employed a laser, endangering the aircraft and the crew aboard. Germany has made a formal diplomatic protest over the incident, summoning the Chinese ambassador to Berlin for a dressing down. The foreign ministry said endangering German personnel and disrupting the operation is entirely unacceptable. The aircraft, which was a surveillance platform operated by a defense contractor, flown by civilian pilots, but carrying a German military team operating the intelligence suite aboard, was flying over the Red Sea, part of the European Union's Aspides deployment. The purpose of the mission is the protection of civilian shipping by monitoring and intercepting Houthi missiles, and does not, the European Union says, contribute to the American-led strikes on the Iran-backed Houthis themselves. But you're seeing China ratchet things up. It's definitely something that you want to pay attention to. Absolutely need to pay attention to. Got another story here from China, just in case you're keeping score at home. This one involves USAID. This one's a big story. USAID quietly sent thousands of viruses to Chinese military-linked biolab. Yep, that USAID, the one that was sending transgender operas to Ireland, and DEI. Oh no, sorry, it was the DEI musical in Ireland, and it was the transgender opera in Colombia. I don't want to get them mixed up. I don't. You can't mix those up. But USAID, the U.S. Agency for International Development, shipped thousands of viral samples to a lab in Wuhan over the course of a 10-year program, even though it had no formal agreement with the lab in place, according to previously unreported documents. These documents, MSN has them, these documents show that the USAID funded the exportation of 11,000 samples from Yunnan province, where some of the closest relatives of the COVID-19 virus circulate, to Wuhan, the epicenter of the pandemic, with no apparent plan for ensuring the samples were not misdirected to bioweapons and remained accessible to the U.S. government. If you're ever wondering if it was a good thing that we shut down USAID, let this story just underline it and put it in bold and italics for you. A $210 million USAID public health program called PREDICT, steered by the University of California, Davis, UC Davis, collected viral samples in the countries throughout the globe, but lacked long-term storage when funding dried up, according to rudimentary plans in 2019. So USAID's sample dispensation plan for China is sparse. No need for information from Yunnan. They were never an official lab partner for PREDICT. All samples they helped collected are sent, tested, and stored in Wuhan. Yes, that Wuhan Institute of Virology. They were a close partner of USAID contractor EcoHealth Alliance and a slated partner for Predict-like programs supported by the State Department. The lab has poor biosafety practices, as I'm sure you know, and this is just another good reason why USAID is no longer operating. This story is wild, one that we're definitely going to keep our eyes on should more information become available. It's 11:31. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Again, you are under a 30% risk of a shower or thunderstorm this afternoon in Nashville. Already radar showing some of them popping up along and north of I-40, north and east of Nashville. Some of it pretty heavy between Portland and Gallatin. Mount Juliet getting hammered right now by a pretty good shower. Nothing severe right now, just some very heavy rain, but you can't rule out thunder and lightning in these showers and storms that are popping up. President Trump's birthright citizenship ban has been blocked again. A federal judge in New Hampshire granting class action status to infants. This is Judge Joseph LaPlante. He's a 2007 nominee of then President George W. Bush. And Sunday marks the passing of a year since a gunman tried to assassinate President Trump at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Sources say half a dozen members of the U.S. Secret Service have been disciplined in recent months. The 6 Secret Service personnel who've been disciplined range from line agents to supervisors. Sources say the suspensions lasted between 10 and 42 days. The Homeland Security Secretary telling Fox News President Trump's been briefed on changes to Secret Service protocols, including new arrangements for the agency's coordination with local law enforcement. The current Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, previously served as the leader of Trump's detail and shielded him immediately after last year's shooting there in Butler. And right now in Tennessee, we're getting reports from Operation Dry Water. That was a safety operation by law enforcement agencies throughout the July 4th holiday weekend. And according to one of those agencies, the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, they were involved with investigating at least one death, 3 incidents where people got hurt, then 24 BUIs. 24 BUI arrests, B standing for boating under the influence. And the U.S. government preparing to breed billions of flies and dump them out of airplanes over Mexico and southern Texas to fight a flesh-eating maggot. These are New World screwworm flies, and the method is said to be more effective and environmentally friendly than spraying. And it worked to eradicate this pest in the U.S. and other nations decades ago. So what they do is they send out these sterile flies that mate with the female screwworm flies that then lay sterile eggs. And so eventually eggs hatch, but there's nothing in them. We'll see how that works. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at United Structural Systems. You know them as USS. And when it comes to these home repairs, especially waterproofing, we just try to ignore it. We try to look the other way, and we hope that it all goes away by itself. You know, a little water in the basement, damp walls after the rain, and it dries up eventually. But it also comes back eventually as soon as that rain does. These small problems will never stay small. The good news is United Structural Systems wants to give you the peace of mind you crave. USS has done this for over 30,000 homeowners across Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky, and these guys aren't about sales pressure. They're going to send an expert to your house, not a sales guy. They're going to send somebody worried about the waterproofing, not worried about their sales quota. That makes a big difference. So whether it's foundation repair or waterproofing, call USS. They'll get the job done right away the first time, and they'll leave behind a warranty that is good for life. If you see the signs, don't wait. Call USS today. 615-488-7855. That's 615-488-7855. United Structural Systems, keeping homes dry and stable. USSTN.com. 11:38, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? My name is Chris Hand. You can find me on Twitter, True Social, and Instagram. At Chris Hand on air. It is the same on all the platforms. And you can watch us on Super Talk TV, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble, and YouTube. Hit like, hit subscribe. We appreciate it when you do so. Without further ado, this is becoming my favorite segment of the day. It's Ben Mason's favorite segment of the day. But my friends, this is what we're calling the lightning round.
It's the lightning round with Chris Hand.
Yeah, lightning round. This is what we do. We run through all the stories that wouldn't fill up a whole segment. We didn't have time to get to, or just, funny. Anything you want to add to the lightning round? 615-737-9986. That was good. That was quick. I like it. First story in the lightning round. California effing around and finding out they're still letting individuals with penises play against girls and into the girls' locker room. Harmeet Dillon says, congratulations, you won a lawsuit.
Hi, everyone. Today, the United States Department of Justice filed suit against California for allowing boys to participate in girls' high school sports in violation of Title IX, one of the important federal civil rights statutes that we administer here at the Department of Justice. This year alone, California is scheduled to receive over $44 billion in federal funding to support its education system, and yet California refuses to honor federal law that protects the rights of young women.
Gee whiz, $44 billion seems like a lot of money. Be a shame if somebody cut that funding. I hope they do. I'm here for it.
And we can't stand for that here at the Department of Justice. It would be irresponsible to do so. We're so proud of all the young female athletes in California who are striving for opportunities and accomplishments and trophies, and it's their right to do so. So follow along as we pursue the enforcement of federal law against California in this important lawsuit.
I mean, I'm here for it. Again, Gavin Newsom is like trying to race to the middle. We saw the Gavcast episode with Charlie Kirk where he's like, no, it's unfair. It's unfair for boys to be in girls' sports. It is unfair. Yet at the same time, California has not made any changes. None. He's making public statements that make him seem like he's more to the middle, Gavin Newsom does, because, he wants to win a national election in 2028. But his state is an absolute disaster. Just on down the line. I mean, pick anything. It's a disaster. It is an unmitigated disaster. It's going to be an uphill battle for Gavin Newsom to win the presidency in 2028. He's still trying. He was running around South Carolina yesterday. That's one of their first primaries in the country for the Democrats. And Gavin Newsom is trying to, get some clout in the area, make his name known, shake hands, kiss babies. And it's crazy to me, though, how he's campaigning. He's campaigning for 2028, right? But he's focused on a guy who's not going to be running in 2028.
The fact that you had a president of the United States, or at least former president that was running again, who wanted to put America in reverse, wanted to bring us back to a pre-1960s world. On voting rights, civil rights, LGBTQ rights, on women's rights, not just access to abortion, but access to contraceptive care.
Yeah, Trump's bringing us back to the 1960s. Oh, yeah. Got it. Cool. How are you going to win a national election in 2028 when you're currently so focused on Trump? I don't want to give him advice. But if I was going to give Gavin Newsom advice, I would say, how about you lay out your campaign on what you're going to do for the American people? I know it's revolutionary to think that way. Maybe you can come to the table with some new ideas instead of Orange Man Bad. We've seen this movie so many times with so many Democrats, and it's just all so tiresome. You're not going to be running against Donald Trump. So why are you campaigning against him? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Get him out. Throw him out into the cold.
I know.
Don't give him their coat. No coat.
No coats. No coats for you. He's also, he's out there and he's campaigning with Jim Clyburn, which might even be a worse decision than campaigning for 2028 and focusing on Donald Trump. Even Joe Scarborough, Morning Joe, was trashing Gavin Newsom for stumping with Jim Clyburn.
And California Governor Gavin Newsom is busy meeting with voters in South Carolina.
That's interesting.
The Democrat has been traveling.
Long flight, actually.
It seems a quite opposite side of the country. The Democrat has been traveling throughout the state, which is expected to play a pivotal role in the primary race for the presidency. Congressman Jim Clyburn, who helped resurrect President Biden's White House campaign in 2020, introduced Newsom at an event last night, adding, quote, "I feel good about his chances."
And he, of course, talking about he feels good about his chances, cleaning up the quality of life issues back in California. I mean, I gotta say, Jonathan Lemire, if Gavin Newsom he goes to South Carolina, they're talking about his presidential race. Well, let the early morning talk about 2020, what year? 8 begin. I mean, that's a guy who, if he runs, he's got a lot to defend.
Yeah, honestly, even Morning Joe understands the vulnerability of Gavin Newsom in a way that Gavin Newsom doesn't understand himself. Gavin Newsom just wants to be president so bad. He's going to be willing to say and do anything. Anything. Even stump with Jim Clyburn, which is just a bad decision. It's a bad decision. I got another story for you here in the lightning round. You remember George Santos? The fanciest Republican from New York. George Santos. He's going to prison. He's officially on his way to prison. He's going to be there. He was sentenced to 87 months in prison. And so he sent out a tweet yesterday. He wanted to let everybody know what's going on. So he said, this is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday. So 2 o'clock our time. He said, "I'm heading to prison, folks. And I need you to hear this loud and clear. I'm not suicidal. I'm not depressed. I have no intentions of harming myself, and I will not willingly engage in any sexual activity while I'm in there." Ugh. Yuck. Wish he just kept it focused on the no suicide, but
that really got out of hand fast.
I know. He goes on to say, "If anything comes out suggesting otherwise, consider it a lie. Full stop. The statistics around what happened to gay men in BOP custody are horrifying, and that's exactly why I'm putting this out there now. So if something does happen, there's no confusion. I did not kill myself." That's George Santos. Well, enjoy prison. I don't really care. I think I only read that tweet because of the part where he said, "I will not willingly engage in any sexual activity while I'm in there." I was like, ugh.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
No, definitely not. If we're getting that water in jail. Betterwater.com. I got another story for you here in the lightning round. I got another one. Free speech is back on the menu, boys. Did you know this? You got free speech back on the menu? I'm here for it. Douglas Mackey, world-famous meme maker, has had his conviction unanimously thrown out by an appellate court. Douglas Mackey, you may remember, he was prosecuted by the Biden administration because of a meme. Well, his conviction was tossed out by the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. Mackey broke the news on X, saying in all caps, "Breaking, the Second Circuit Court of Appeals has thrown out my conviction for lack of evidence. The case has been remanded to the district court with orders to immediately dismiss." Praise God, Mackey added, who had been sentenced to 7 months in federal prison after his conviction. It was March 2023 when he was convicted. The appellate court sided with Mackey that December and dropped the prison sentence until the appeal had been completed. Mackey was prosecuted for sharing a meme during the 2016 presidential election that joked Hillary Clinton supporters should text in their vote. It was obviously a joke, but the left has no humor in their body whatsoever, so they charged him.
Obviously.
Yep. Biden's Department of Justice under Attorney General Merrick Garland at the time accused him of election interference.
Allegedly.
Election interference. Despite the claim, though, they couldn't provide any evidence that anyone had been fooled by the meme into thinking they should text in their vote. So, yeah, the conviction was thrown out. Praise God. Douglas Mackey, the meme man, he is free. I got another story for you in the light. This one comes from our friends at The View. I didn't know how tough it was being Whoopi Goldberg. Did you have any idea how tough it was being Whoopi Goldberg? You make $8 million a year to do a crap show. You've got plenty in the bank. And it's really, really hard being Whoopi.
You know what? Let us say this to you. Thank you for that, because sometimes this gig can feel like hell. And sometimes you feel like people are just angry at you all the time. Right. And so to get a welcome like this morning, we really appreciate it.
Oh, it's so sweet. It's so sweet. So kind. Oh, look at that. That audience, partially masked, is clapping. That's great. That's great. This job is hell. As I make $8 million a year. That sounds pretty good. That sounds dope. And I don't think they come up with any original thoughts. Like, it's all telepromptered. This job is hell. Okay. Well, you're in for a rude awakening when you cross over to the other side. That's just my opinion. Just let you know if you think this is hell. Good luck. Good luck. We got another story for you here in the lightning round. If you have an urgent message for Trump, just write a letter or send an email. Don't do what this woman did. You want to know what she did? She had an urgent message for Trump. So she showed up at Mar-a-Lago with a gun. It's not probably the best way to get your message across. In case you were wondering, how do I get this message to Trump? Showing up at his house with a gun, not the preferred method. It's just not. A Florida woman has been arrested because she did just that. She had an urgent message for Donald Trump, so she showed up at Mar-a-Lago with a fire alarm. Trump wasn't there. He was in D.C. Caroline Shaw is her name, 49 years old, allegedly went to Mar-a-Lago's club Southgate on the evening of July 7th, the Palm Beach Daily News reported. An arrest report obtained by the outlet states that Shaw, from Orlando, parked her gray Mercedes vans on the Southern Boulevard and approached the gate on foot, claiming she was there to speak with the president and deliver an urgent message. She told Secret Service agents that she had firearms in her vehicle, and the arrest report shows that a handgun was seized upon her arrest. Court records show that she was charged with driving with a suspended license and failure to register a vehicle, with no charges related to trespassing on the property or making threats of any kind. Shaw's vehicle registration expired in 2021.
Right to jail.
Yeah, and her driver's license expired in 2023. So she failed to pay traffic tickets, but the message was urgent. She wasn't worried about that. She wasn't. She needed to get the message. Jail and court records show that she remained at Palm Beach County Jail on a $2,000 bond, pleaded not guilty on July 8th. Judge Donald Haffel ordered her to have no contact with the president or any of his properties, the local media reported. I don't know how she's ever going to get this urgent message to him then. There's also nothing in the news report about what the urgent message was. Kind of feel like they're burying the lead. But just a reminder, if you have an urgent message for the president, just send a tweet. Send a tweet. Send a True Social. Mail a letter. Don't show up at Mar-a-Lago with a gun. Not the best option. It's not the best route to accomplish what you think needs to be accomplished. It's 11:52. That was the lightning round. Chad Benson is going to join us next. Let us know what's happening on the Chad Benson Show right here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. If you're tired of back or knee pain ruining your life, it's time to listen up because this could change everything. We're calling it the Big Daddy Trump Special from the Wellness Institute of Nashville. The BDT. You down with the BDT? Yeah, you know me. Just $12 is going to get you a full exam, x-rays if needed, a well-explained diagnosis, and your first treatment. You heard me right when I said it. All of that for only $12. Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Ashley didn't give up on you. They won't give up on your pain like President Trump never gave up on America. Their patients say it all the time. Why didn't I come here first? Why doesn't other doctors explain it to me the way you guys explain it? Well, it's because this is a unique place. So whether you're dealing with back pain, neck pain, sciatica, numbness, bulging discs, they'll treat it all, and they'll do it without surgery, without pills. You're looking at non-surgical spinal decompression, robot lasers, anti-gravity machines, all of the latest tech. Call today, 615-246-5009. That's 615-246-5009. Talk to the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Get rid of that pain for good. 615-246-5009. Painisbad.com. 11:57, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. We love those guys. If you need a water filtration system, just go to betterwater.com. Chad Benson's in studio. Love this guy, too.
What's up?
What's up, Chad?
What are you up to, brother?
I'm just getting really excited about this spaghetti squash that I have here.
Gonna go make some spaghetti.
Oh, my gosh. It's going to be awesome. Joan Jones, in case you didn't know, her entire property is being overrun by spaghetti squash. Apparently, it's an invasive species.
I had no idea. There it is. Now you've got one. I know she's going to bring Belle one.
Yeah.
So the whole...
She's bringing everybody spaghetti squash.
That's so... I don't want one. I don't need
You don't want spaghetti squash? Why not?
Because I like regular old spaghetti angel hair.
Angel hair is clutch.
There you go.
You have to do angel hair.
You got to do angel hair.
Any other choice is wrong.
Yeah. I mean, the kids, sometimes they want the squirrelies or this, that. You know, it's okay, fine. But the angel hair is the go-to, period, case closed.
Angel hair is the goat of pasta.
Absolutely.
100%.
Case closed. What's up, dude? What'd you talk about today?
We talked a lot about immigration. We got stuck on immigration for a while. A lot of phone calls. Did you see WSMV's report
about the face mask and stuff?
No. They had some nice abuela from Franklin.
Oh,
been in the country for 25 years, and they said, you know, we can't have her leave, but she couldn't speak English.
How are you here 25 years and you don't speak any English?
I don't know.
It's crazy. That is nuts.
It's like, it blew my mind.
Yeah, you should learn. I mean, you know, it's no knock, you know, against her as a person, but you're somewhere. If I lived in Italy for 25 years, let alone a year, I'd learn Italian.
Yeah, I'd be dropping a scusi every now and again.
Abso-friggin-lutely.
Yeah.
Tutti bastardi.
All I got is scusi.
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 But it's you should learn, you know, and you know what? Being in Southern California, you go to like Chinatown and stuff. There are people that have been there for 80 years. They don't speak any English, and they've never had to because they've never left. And it's like being in China.
But you know, going overseas, as an American, you go overseas, and it's like, no, learn the language, and don't be disrespectful to these people in their own country.
Yeah.
Yet here, it's like 25 years. How dare you kick me out, and then use an interpreter?
That's so. My friend's mom was from Argentina, or stepmom, his mother-in-law, and she'd been here for 25 years, and she didn't speak any English. And I was always shocked. I always thought, you speak English, you're lying.
Yeah, you're faking
I know you're lying.
You're choosing not to.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
You're choosing not to, so you don't have to talk to us, which is brilliant.
Not knocking the hustle.
No, I love the hockey player, Jaromir Jagr.
Yeah.
He would always pretend he'd been there he speaks perfect English. And he's like, I know. And he starts speaking in Czech. I don't speak English. And they're like, dude, you speak English all the time.
Yep.
But I just don't want to talk to you. I'm like, that's good. I love the hustle.
I like it. I'm not knocking that.
No. What else you talk about?
Just a bunch of stuff. What are you talking about today?
Bunch of stuff. Snack Wraps back at McDonald's. I think that's a big win right there.
I missed that.
It's back. I'm pretty excited about it.
I missed that.
I think that's a win for the world.
Do you remember the Mac Wrap?
Oh,
the Big Mac Wrap? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so the Snack Wrap is back.
I mean, 6 months in office. The man's ended 3 wars. He's brought back the Snack Wrap.
This right here is something to celebrate, kids. And we're going to be all over that all day.
They said make America great again. It's done.
Make America snacky again. It's happening. Don't tell RFK Jr.
Chad's in next. It's 12 o'clock. Super Talk 99.7. Oh, wait. Mason. Windmill of Doom. Super Talk 99.7 WTN.